heavyweight warrior today is Ousman Ndoye. Ousman, it is great to be here today, and I'm so glad to meet you. And, I don't really have much to say because I know you have a tremendous amount to say. Could you let our watchers and our listeners know a little bit more about who you are and how you ended up where you are right now?
Oh, thank you, Rich. Thank you for having me. I'm very glad that I met with you. I heard great stuff about great stuff about you, and when my friend talked to me about doing a show with you, I felt blessed to connect with you because I know that you are doing a lot of things out there in the community to help a lot of people right now who couldn't see the sun shining. And I was there many years ago, and it seems it was like yesterday, but I was born some 46 years ago, and I can tell you that the first 20 was so dark, and for the simple reason that after I was born, my parents broke up, and it's back in the days, mid-60s, and when they broke up, my mom had me and was pregnant with my younger sister. And when both my parents remarried, they separated my family. I went with my dad with his new bride, and my sister went with my mom and her new husband in two different environments, because my mom was a teacher and her new husband was a very go-getter, a winner, a guy who knew what he wanted. And they pretty much set up a future for themselves. Then I went to my dad with his new wife in a big relative compound with more than 100 people, and I was 5 years old.
A compound. It might be important for our listeners to find out where you were.
Yes, I mean, it was in a small fishing village called Bargny in West Africa, in Senegal, and I joined my dad and my stepmother with all the relatives of my father, and I was there 5 years old with no mother. And for the next 15, what I mean from 5 years old to 20 years old, I wasn't treated very well. I was beaten, I was cursed, I was called by name, and they as a child, they just made me believe, putting in my subconscious, that I was not worth anything, that I was just a loser, I was born to fail, I was just, my life would never amount a thing. So because I was young, so I internalized what they were saying. So for the first 20 years of my life, I was on the shadow of life. It was dark for me to see myself, to see why I was born, what would make sense my life.
Why did they treat you that way?
I think back in the days there was a little bitty me being from a divorced parent family, and I think both my parents were young when they got divorced. And not just that, my dad and his new wife, particularly the new bride, maybe wanted my dad to love more the kids they have together. And me, I was kind of part of the family blood, but I was a little bit strange. I wasn't strange. And they never thought of me growing up one day, or standing up one day, or having a meaningful life. And sincerely, it hurt me for years and years and years. But over the years, I said that was a blessing of my life, because that's what really shaped me for being just stand with no excuses. Once I understood that, what they were saying, it's them, it wasn't me. Once that light shifted, I've never looked back. I was 20 when I really grasped it, but I grasped it through the advices of my great-grandmother from my mom's side, who used to tell me, no matter what the other people said, that's not true. It will be true if you believe it.
That's very important.
Yeah, and
we believe what we want to believe.
Exactly.
What we tell ourselves, and we believe what the world tells us.
Exactly. And she passed away many years ago, but she told me 3 words, and I can say pretty much that's what changed my life, and that's what I share in this book, Stand With No Excuses. She used to tell me, keep it real. I was young, I couldn't understand what she was really saying, keep it real. But when I said, Grandma, what is keep it real? I'm getting beaten every day, I'm getting cursed every day, I do some tasks that I shouldn't do. She said, just look at yourself in the mirror and say you love yourself. God loves you. You are a good person. You are a good man. You will serve this world. Ousman, you will make yourself a name. So I borrow my great-grandmother's belief to find my way. And then she said, everybody have problems and difficulties. You're not the only one crossing these difficulties, but focus on solution. For over the years, this is the 2 words, keep it real, focus on solution. But when I turned probably 15, 16, 17, she added something else telling me, are you willing to do what it takes? And I can say pretty much that those 3 words are my philosophy of life. I am always trying to keep it real, no matter how difficult, how tough the problems. I'm always focusing on finding the solution and the answer. Mm-hmm. And I am always willing to do what it takes, even if I have to die to make it happen.
Wow. It's pretty important to realize at such a young age. What did you do? What changed? So you knew you had to do something, that you had to believe a certain way. What action did you take at 20, 21 years old?
You know, I was in my 17, that's really when this revolting momentum triggered, because how it triggered was I was so disrespected by my friends in the neighborhood. They were calling me with names. And I didn't felt that sincerely I was part of this family, because it's just, they made me lose my self-esteem, my self-confidence. I failed every class at school. It's not I wasn't smart or I wasn't a good student, but you know, my environment was so negative that I felt what they were saying, the labels they put on me, you're a failure, you're a bad guy, you're not smart, you're stupid. That's when I started at 17 being kind of revolting a little bit, asking to myself, all my friends have their parents. They are going to school. They are going somewhere. I am here, 17. I don't even know where I'm going. So there is this guy, I used to go to his room, and I'm seeing some music and rock and roll. I asked, what is this music? He's like, this is rock and roll. This is country music. I say, where's this country? Then he said, America. This is American music. I said, wow, American. But before that, 3 years back, when I was 14, I was watching TV, and they were showing some footage of Miami when Bob Marley, the singer, reggae singer guy from Jamaica, have passed. And I showed this image, beautiful image, and I asked it, one of my uncle, he passed away now. I said, Uncle, what is this? Then he said, this is America. I say, what is America? Because I didn't know. I've never heard about it.
Wow.
And he says, America, it's a beautiful country. They have a lot of opportunity and they have a lot of freedom. And I know none of these 3 were into my life. I didn't have a lot of opportunities. I didn't have a lot of freedom. And there was not a lot of beauty in my environment. So at 17, when I heard about that name again, America, through music, you know, and 17, you know, I start looking my way. I start searching, what can I do about my life? So the search, I can say, till 20, I couldn't find it, sincerely. I couldn't find it, even though I went to a lot of tension, personally, asking to myself many questions, trying to look for the answer. Why was I born? Why am I here? Why? Why me? Why all these people have their parents? I don't. So I took everything internal. Guilt. Then one day I went to the ocean, not far away from my house. And I stayed there. I was sobbing. I was crying. I felt so bad in my heart. And I asked help for whoever is God. Please. Please. I am now 20. Please help me out. I need some help.
Now it's interesting you talk about your world that was, you lived up to what the world expected of you.
Yes.
Essentially, they defined who you were going to be, and up to that point that is who you were.
Yes.
But you were also in a world so limited that you didn't even know America existed.
No.
Until you heard the music.
14, at 14 I heard for the first time America, but the real definition of America came to me at age 17 when this guy, through music, Bruce Springsteen, Bob Dylan, he was telling this guy, and I am kind of having this imagination, who those guys, where they are at this moment.
So that's tremendous.
They were my hero without knowing. I would listen to their music for hours in that guy's room without knowing even what they were saying. Then I became interested on learning, on perfecting my English. Then I remember him telling me, you know, the Americans have an embassy in Dakar. You can go and have a car. Then you can go and grab books. So today what I found was I was in two different worlds, but there was something very powerful guiding me through something I couldn't even understand back then.
Well, even though you were in such a different world,
yes,
you had the same situations we all have when we're growing up. There's questions about why.
Yes.
Why am I this way? Why is this my situation?
Yes.
Who am I supposed to be?
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
So how did you get from there to America?
So, excuse me, at 20, when I went that day and I was just sobbing, looking this blue ocean, it was just above and beyond my view. And it looks like something told me in my heart, Ousman, you are now 20 years old. Yes, it's been tough. Yes, a lot of people did wrong to you. Yes, your parents have divorced. Yes, you don't have skills. Yes, you fail every class. Yes, and yes, and yes. But a lot of people love you. You're very good at playing soccer. A lot of people love you. They said, you're a nice boy. You have a good heart. They can count on you, anything. Ousman, how about you just stand up and take your life back? And I stand up, I took my shirt like this, I cleaned up my face. And I said, from today on, I will take my life back. One way or another, even if I have to die, I will. Then I remember I went back home and I talked to some of my relatives. I said, I want to join the army. And one of them said to me, stupid. The army don't need you. They don't need a stupid man who's just crazy and stupid. You're a failure for life.
See, that's not the way I took it. I thought when you're saying stupid, I'm thinking, well, it's stupid to join the army because you want to live.
Exactly.
But you're taking it from a completely different angle, and that's still how they defined you, how they viewed you.
Yeah, now they're living now in the past. And me, I was thinking in the future. Now I'm focused on, I'm in the now, but I was in the future. What will happen? I'm 20, I'll be 30, if I'm 40, if I'll be 50. So I already designed a game plan of 30 years to get out from this kind of life.
Did you join the military?
No. When they say that, I'm still again saying, if they say the army don't want me because I don't have the skills and the knowledge and the education. So what else should I do? Then I went to one of my relatives. I said, could you help me to find a job? And he says, what job? I say, at the factory you're working, even if it's a part-time job. He says, you stupid man. You don't even have any skills to hold a job. I cannot bring you there, man. You'll humiliate me. You're so stupid. So my whole environment, for some reason, they just thought I was stupid, except one person, my great-grandmother. She's now more than 100 years old. But for some reason, she stayed. She stayed in that world just to tell me, keep it real. Right. Focus on solution. Are you willing to do what it takes? And when I grasped the two, keep it real, focus on solution, but there was something missing. And that was that willingness to do what it takes. I don't have any life experience. I don't have any skills. I don't have any knowledge. Never ever get out from Senegal. But one day I was with one of my friends. We used to play soccer. And I told him, you know, man, my entire life since I was born, it's been pain, suffering, humiliation. Mm-hmm. I tried to join the army, but I don't think they will tell me. I'm still listening to the naysayers. Mm-hmm. I think they won't take me. And I spoke to this one of my relatives to find me a job, and he says, no, he's just, man, the same thing. But man, I cannot live this life. I rather kill myself than living. He's like, no, man, you have to have faith. You have to. And you know, I talked to him as a buddy, we're young. And one night, we were just hanging. I remember we were just walking all night long. We'd go to there was a pond somewhere. We'd go there, talk about life, looking at the sky. But I couldn't tell him what I was designing in my heart. That image I've seen, when I was 14, America, I was designing America, America, America. And I said, okay, I heard when I was 14, my uncle told me America is beautiful. You have a lot of freedom and a lot of opportunity. It's time to go to America. How? I don't know. Where is America? I don't know. How am I going to get there? I don't know. So between my 20 and when I turned 21, this idea of going to America started burning, a burning desire on me. It's just every day I saturate my mind. I read all kinds of books about America, and I'm fascinating. I'm like, yeah, Bruce Springsteen. I'm listening to his song. That was one of my best songs, Born in the USA. and I'm just going. I'm just keep on going. And I remember we played a game of soccer one day. At the end of that game, that night I was hanging around with my friend. I told him, this will be my last game. He said, what do you mean? I said, I cannot take it anymore. If I take it one more, I'll kill myself. I have to go. No, man, you know, you don't. I say, I have to go. And that's what it is. I don't know where I'm going. I'm looking for America. I don't know. Then I went to my room the following day. I grabbed a backpack. I put 2 shirts, 2 pairs of jeans, and a book called Le Chemin du Bonheur in French, The Way of Happiness. And I left Senegal. I was 21 years old, looking for America. But that journey took me to every thick and thin. I started from Senegal to Mali, then Ivory Coast, then Algeria, Tunisia. I walked between Algeria and Libya for 6 days in the Sahara Desert with a small gallon of water. You know, I went to Guinea-Conakry, Guinea-Bissau. It took me 10 years. I went to South America, Brazil. I went to Guyana. I went to Europe looking for America.
Wow.
It took me 10 years. I left when I was 21. I reached to New York when I was 31. I did all kinds of odd jobs. There was moments I had only 1 pair of jeans for probably 7, 8 months, 1 pair of shoes and 1 shirt. If they're dirty, I just wash them nighttime and put them again the next day. I slept in the street. I did all kind of things just to find my way in this world. And it's been a joy. It's been a journey. But you know what? I just thought that I had one life, and no matter what the world will think of me, at the end of the day, I'll be the only one in my grave.
Right.
So what would I do before I get to that grave? That was the true Paul. And once I freed myself from what the outside world was saying, I became content. I became thankful. I became free, mentally, physically, spiritually. I just became me. And I love me.
You found yourself.
I found myself. I just said, you know what? What they say, that's their problem. What you say is what counts. And I've never looked back. So when I get to the U.S., I was 31 years old. And when I get to New York, when the plane was just crossing and I'm seeing the Stars of Liberty, and I say to myself, this is it. Nobody will take away my life.
So you came here with no place to stay?
Nothing. I came here with $200. When I get to the U.S., I get in after they stamped my passport. I get in, they welcome me, welcome to the U.S. There was a phone number I had from a friend, and I called that number, but couldn't reach them. And I'm just standing outside the airport, and there is this taxi driver who was there, and I'm looking at him. I came to him, I said, are you African? And he says, yeah, I'm from Senegal.
Oh, wow.
I said, my name is Ousman. He says, my name is Pap Jai. I remember the name. And I said, you know, I just get to the U.S. I don't know. I know some people, but I don't have any address. The number I had, I called it, nobody picked up. I don't know, where am I going? He said, wow, man. He took me with him, and we went to the house where he lived. And there was a lot of the Senegalese people.
Right.
You know, I was curious, asking people how long we've been here. Some tell you 8 years, 9 years. And I was there. I met a boy. I didn't know him very well, but I met him there. He's from the same ethnic group like me. Then we start talking about America, and he's like, yeah, you can stay here in New York, you can do this, do that. I say, no, I'm going to Hollywood. What are you doing to Hollywood? I said, Hollywood is America. That's where you make things happen.
Excellent.
He's like, no, man, you cannot go to Hollywood. Hollywood is the movie. I said, that's those, because my mind, because of my imagination from Bruce Springsteen and Bob Dylan and those guys, my whole set of mind is my success, my American dream will be in Hollywood. Then the number I had, I recalled that number that night. The guy picked up, and I told him he came from the same hometown, back to Senegal, and I told him who I was because he left many years. I talked to him about who I was, whose son I am. He says, "Oh, no problem. Hey, come to Los Angeles. You know, I am here. I am doing some business, selling stuff. Maybe you like it." So I was ready to go to Los Angeles because my mind was just Hollywood. And then, because he didn't know me, he called a boy here in Denver, Colorado, my same generation. He asked about me because he wanted to know who am I.
Sure.
And that boy told him, "Oh, I know him. Do you know him? Oh, great soccer player. We played soccer when we were kids. Genius. But he left many years ago, even before us we came to the U.S. He said, he's in the U.S. He's in New York. What? Yeah. Wow. In fact, he's about to take the Greyhound tomorrow to come to L.A. As soon as they hang up, the boy from Colorado here called me And they nicknamed me Chris because of soccer. There was a soccer player, and they nicknamed me since I was 7 years old. And he said, Chris. I said, yes. He said, it's a certain church. I said, oh yeah, man, how you doing? Same age. Man, I heard that you're in the US. I said, yeah, I got here 2 days ago, man. How's everything? Oh, I'm fine. How's you? Oh, I'm here in Colorado with my older brother. Man, this is a nice city. But such you told me you want to go to LA. I say, yeah, I'm going to Hollywood. That's what Ousman is. No, man, it's dangerous. It's a tough life. It's expensive. Look, how about, man, I'm alone here with the same age. How about you come to Denver? I say, where is Denver? He said, do you remember the Carrington movie? Because we watched the Denver Carrington. I say, yeah. He said, that's where I am.
Nice.
I said, huh. He said, it's very cold, but it's a very nice small city. You will love it. Come on here. If you don't like it, I'll let you go to Hollywood. I said, okay, I'll be there. So I called the guy in LA. I said, look, I know this guy. We've played soccer when we were kids. So he wants me to come to Denver. I don't know Denver, but he just insisted for me at least to stop by there. If I don't like it, then I took the Greyhound bus. It took us 3 days. He came to the Greyhound downtown to pick me up, and the first day in Denver, I am in love in Denver for the simple fact that 17 years before, those high-rise buildings I've seen on TV when I was 14,
right.
That's just what I've seen now. I'm not seeing them, I'm touching them.
Right.
I'm walking across them. And I'm like, wow, thank God I'm here. But I am here is not enough. I have to make it happen one way or another. So this is how it comes from seeing a picture, 14. Then at 20, I am searching a way out. Nobody supported whatever I've asked. Then at 21, I knew that, you know what, this is not anymore I have to or I want to. This is a must be.
Sure.
This is a must be. Otherwise, I'm just going to kill myself because I was above and beyond humiliation. That's how deep, how hurtful it was. So I needed to move on. And the only thing I've seen was America. Where is America? How I'm going to get there? I didn't have a clue. So this is how I get to this country now. When I came here, it was now another story because I was here to be part of this country. I was here to contribute. I was here to find a way to leave a legacy in my life. And since then, I've never, ever looked back, and it's been a joy. 15 years already here, from scratch, working at a 7-Eleven for 6 months. My first month in a 7-Eleven, my paycheck altogether was less than $500. I rent my first apartment. When I was here for 5 months, somebody talked to me about a taxi. I knew how to drive, but I have never driven a car in the soil of America. Somebody just found me 7-Eleven nighttime, say, hey, man, this 7-Eleven is dangerous. Come on, drive a taxi. I'm like, no, I cannot drive taxi. I never driven a car here. I don't know the city. Oh, you can do it. If you look at the mountain, it's the west. Your back is east. Your right is north. Your left is south. So he's 2 cab drivers drilling this into me. One day I went to the taxi company, Metro Taxi, get hired, went to 3 days training. After the training, didn't know what I was doing, but I am in America. At least if I try my best, what helped me during those 10 years to make it here will help me to make my American dream come true. And I took that taxi, start picking up people. My first customer in Aurora, Colorado, March 1999 made me saw the big picture of America. How I am late, very late, because I didn't know where I was going. That was 14 and Iola. I didn't know where is Iola, where is 14. Don't have a clue. But it took me 45 minutes. I was about 10 minutes from there, but I was circling, didn't know. When I get to my customer, things was not sophisticated like today, so I came out from my taxi and I knocked the door, and there is this guy, bodybuilder, come out. Oh, I don't need your taxi. You guys, you need to learn the customs of this country. And he was just pouring it in me, reacting. And I'm like, whoa. Then I let him finish, and I said, sir, I apologize. It's my fault. I am a rookie cab driver. This is my first day in this job. I'm just here to give you a taxi ride, and I'm just here to be part of America. If you want, I can give you a free ride. What? I said, yes. He went in and come back. I open up the door. He's in. My car is very nice. I'm dressed very nice, very polite. I said, where are we going? He says, Colfax and Kingston. I said, can you help me? It was 2 blocks. I didn't know. So we went to Colfax and Kingston. He told me what to do. I went there and come back. That was $4 fare round trip. Then when we came back, I came out from my taxi. I opened the door for him. I thanked him. And he pulled out a bill of $20. And he gave it to me, and I was about to give him change. And he says, no, it's all yours, man. I've never seen a cab driver like you. I said, what do you mean? He said, you are so well dressed. Your taxi is so clean. And you've been offering me pleasant things, music, things. But not just that, man. You're a good man. The way you... Look, I'm yelling at you. And you just say you want to offer me a free ride. I'm shocked. I said, sir, I'm in your service. He said, let me give you an advice, young man. If you keep doing this, you're in the right country, the right place, and at the right moment. If you keep just doing what you did with me right now, you will be successful in America. This is just what we're looking for in this country. Go-getters, and you're a go-getter. Rich, from that day on, I've never, ever looked back. Every customer, every person I've met, every new connection I've learned over the years how to connect with people, how to mingle with them, asking questions, treating them well, and they are treating me well. I accept them, they accept me. I tolerate them, they tolerate me. I appreciate them, they appreciate me. And it's just abundance coming from left and right, because abundance is not just limited to money. Taxi opened up doors for college. I've never had college education. And one of my customers one day, seeing me reading books all the time, she said, you're so intelligent, you should have a college degree. I said, how am I going to go to college? I went to high school, but he says, go to Community College of Denver and ask her questions. I went to Community College of Denver, drove my taxi. When they're asked, they told me where to start from, ESL. I just started there. And it's been, today I'm at UCD, finishing my bachelor.
That's terrific.
You know, today I'm a writer. My books are in Amazon's. I'm a professional speaker. Today I have my own training company. Today I was nominated the best professional cab driver in the US in 2009. My company just joined an international organization called Taxi Limousine Paratransit Association, where we are just looking ways to impact the transportation service in America and in any other country in the world. Today I'm an American citizen and very proud to be one. My wife, she's an American citizen. We are appreciating and loving everything coming our way. I have friends from all walks of life, sport figures, teachers, professors, writers, professional speakers, news people, journalists and stuff.
Sure.
I have so many relationships, my network, and everything started from a taxi ride.
So you really did come out and redefine your life.
Yes.
Start ignoring what everybody in the world was telling you
Yes.
about who you were,
Yes.
about what you could accomplish,
Yes.
and came out and won anyway.
And you know, I just felt that again, like you said, it was my life. I had to take charge of it. I cannot. Yeah, I did that when I was younger, blaming my parents, the world. But I think once I get to the U.S., you know what? My mind, through experience of life, the previous 10 years, I stopped blaming the world for my setbacks. I stopped blaming my parents. I stopped blaming anybody. And I think I forgive a lot of people in order for me to move on. I had to. I needed to take a lot of things in my chest, out of my chest, to move on. And once I did that, and I believe today that that was part of why when I left at 21, it took me 10 years. I think there was something working on me first. I needed to work on me first before I can serve the outside world. I needed to clean up a lot of pain. I needed to clean up a lot of anger. I needed to clean up a lot of humiliation. So once they were gone, my door, America opened up the door.
Wow.
So that's where when I get here, I don't know. I just felt that this was it. This is what I was looking for. This is my place. This is my. I own it. That's how I can describe it. I mean, you know, there is some stuff people talk about. America is not perfect, and I know that. But you know what? If you drill too much on what's negative in America, you're not going to see the good side of America. So Ousman, focus on the good side of America. Yeah, I listen what the news say about negative or what the outside world say, but I let it in and let it out.
It's a tremendous lesson. A lot of us need to really know that.
Yes.
To let it out.
Yeah, and just to focus and keep on going and just keep on going. You know, people sometimes ask me, I remember my wife was just like, you know, oh, President Obama and the Republicans or the Democrats, and when people say, I say, you know what, man, they're just doing their part. I have to do my part. They do their part as politician. I'm doing my part as a rider, as a professional cab driver, as a citizen.
Well, and that's important. It's an important lesson for all of us. Is that, you know, being a taxi driver, no matter what the world may think of that position or that situation, you've been able to serve the world as a taxi driver.
Exactly.
And it's opened even more doors.
Yes.
For you in other areas of your life, as a speaker, as a businessman.
Yes.
Socially, you have expanded your life, and you have given yourself a life you probably, even if you dreamed of it, you
Yes.
maybe didn't dream even as big as it's become.
Exactly. I have some friends. I remember when I started new as a professional cab driver, they were cab drivers, and I was driving nighttime back then with them, and daytime I'm at the community college of Denver, and they used to tell me, man, you are 32 years old, 33, you're saying you're going to school, and I'm like, you know, guys, the first 20 years of my life plus the other 10 years forward till 31, I was at the school of life. Yes, I pretty much gained a lot of experience, but now I needed to go into my academic life. But they couldn't understand back then what I was saying, because never be a know-it-all. Never limit yourself from just your circumstances or your environment. Look ways to extend. Look ways to discover. Look for ways to meet new people. Look for ways to take risk. Look for ways to overcome your challenges. Look for ways to kill your fear. And it will never happen till you are not willing to do what it takes. So today, anytime every day I think about my great-grandmother. She's in heaven, and I hear her voice every second of my life. That's why what the world say, I don't listen to it too much.
Right.
Because I know that my great-grandmother, she's watching, and I don't want to disappoint her, but I don't want to disappoint myself first.
Another important lesson. Understanding who you are.
Yes.
And understanding who you have to live up to.
Yes.
Tell us, Ousman, how can we get in touch with you? If I'm watching this video right now, how can I hire you as a speaker or get one of your books? And he's got 2 books, Stand with No Excuses and Serving Unfailingly. And as he said, they're both available on Amazon. And how else can they get in touch with you?
Yes, they can visit my website, mmimindset.com, or they can call me at 720-277-7333. Again, mmimindset.com, 720-277-7333. And
you're a brave man to give out your phone number. You never know how many calls you might get.
You know, I mean, when you do something you believe in, when you do something truthful, when you do something you know that this can impact not just you, but even if it helps one person, you don't need to hide anything. If what you're doing is purposeful, is truthful, and behind that is just service, being a servant, why should I hide myself? Because I want to meet more people like you, because we are part of the solution. And when you are part of the solution, you don't need to hide. The people you see hiding, they're part of the problem.
That is tremendous. I can't tell you how much of an honor it is for me to be here, Ousman, to meet you and hear this story and to be able to share this story with the people here on WinAnywayWarrior.com. And you are truly the definition of somebody who lives their life to win anyway.
Thank you, sir, because the only way you can win anyway is to keep on knocking doors. Unstoppable. Don't ever stop knocking doors.
Excellent.
Yes.
Well, if you or somebody you know is living a win anyway life, I want you to give me a call or drop an email off at www.winanywaywarrior.com. And remember that you can live a win anyway life. Think about all the things that Ousman shared with us today, the suggestions, the strategies that he shared with us as to how we can live that win anyway life. And it's important for us to choose our own destiny, for us not to let the world get in our way, for the world to define us. So make your own choices, live on your own terms, and always, always win anyway.